Good morning, loyal subscribers, all nearly 3 dozen of you. No, wait, that's wrong. Slightly over 2 dozen. I've just come off of a very long day, so forgive my idiocy and lack of math acumen. Today's topic: quit watching porn, you wankers. It's good advice for men of all ages, for men and women, but mostly men, as we're mostly susceptible to this phenomenon. It's just a good idea. Not only from a moralistic standpoint, and I don't care if you're agnostic or atheist, if you are, you constantly claim to be moral without any moral absolutism, which is impossible, by the way, but that's a topic for another day. So for this objectively bad thing, there is no argument other than, yeah, we should quit jerking it to strangers having sex for money. One, it's a massive cuckolding, or cucking, whatever, to use the parlance of the times. You're watching a man have sex with a woman. You are watching this. You are not actively participating. Therefore, it is similar in effect to watching your significant other, your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, though I recommend getting married before engaging in any kind of sexual activity. It's the same effect, essentially, as watching your significant other getting plowed by a strange man, which is just sick and disgusting in itself. But the fact that this is happening in the subconscious is so much more sinister. And there are certain groups that understand the subversive nature inherent in pornography, and they exploit it to destroy civilizations from within. And I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll leave you to do your own research on the use of pornography in warfare, and how that has been used to devastating effect over the years. But so not only is it a massive cucking and a subversive industry, it affects the brain in similar ways to heroin use, in that it makes you completely docile and keeps you basically coming back to the same trough of poison. You know, it's the very thing that destroys you is the thing you crave the most. When you have no truth and no reason, and I call it logos. Many people call it logos. I'm not original with that, obviously, but in my worldview, it is Jesus Christ. So if you're trying to quit this, it's good to get faith. That's just the way the world works. You know, you can't really deny the effects of it. So the benefits of quitting this horrifically bad activity is you have an increased stamina, and I'm not just talking sexual stamina, although there is that. You have increased satisfaction with a significant other, a significant partner, increased performance, and all that good stuff. That's the base level good effect. You have increased stamina in all things, you know, be it physical activity. You have increased mental proficiency and clarity. You just have a desire and a drive that comes from the sexual drive, but you're channeling it into higher realms of thought and activity. And this becomes very beneficial in all of those activities. So it's very crucial to rein in your base desires. And look, I'd be the first one to take this advice, because it is, I'll admit, it is nearly impossible in this day and age, in this society, American society, Western society, which is just where you're just inundated with all of this flesh and all of this sexual energy, left, right, and center. And I get it. I can admit it's hard to keep your thoughts pure in a society that just pushes, and even the stories where it talks, in a condemning tone about this, it can still bring those things to your imagination. This athlete had sex with 15 women in one night in a hotel room and got caught. Here are the lewd pictures that he took. So even if it's a quasi condemning tone, it still pushes sex right up to your gaping maw. So, but you have to resist. It's one of the easiest. I don't know if that's the right. It's one of the most besetting sins of any culture in any time period, is just this sex for sex sake. And it really robs your life of zeal, zest. The savor of life is self-denial can be so rewarding, because when you actually get the reward, it's so much sweeter, it's so much more profound, multi-layered. I don't want to get into the real nitty-gritty, dirty details of what happens when you control your libido, but suffice it to say, it's pretty earth-shaking, for both parties, but I don't want to get dirty with it. I'm trying to keep these streams clean, but just control your base desires, and just watch your life explode. Okay, that imagery didn't exactly play well. So yeah, I got the pun a split second after I said it. Watch your life just blossom into incredibility. Everything just starts to click so much better, and you'll have slip-ups, guaranteed. And it helps if you have accountability, if you have a group of people who can help you out, people who have had success after many failings, kind of tell you what pitfalls you can avoid, and so on and so forth. But this is one of the most important things any young man, and women have, to a lesser degree, women have an issue with pornography as well. And what it does as well is it makes women hate their body when they should view themselves with a higher degree of self-confidence. So I do want to say, hey, you're not alone either. I'm sure there are groups to a lesser extent for women out there who struggle with this. But I'm really speaking, because I am a man, I'm speaking to the young men out there. I know it's tough, guys, but it can lead on a bad road if you don't get a hold of it. And I need to take my own advice. I need to pray more. I just watched a Vincent from the Red Elephants. I watched a video that he did on this very topic, actually, and I didn't even make the connection until I just started talking about it just now. But in that video, he said he prays every day. That's something, I think about God constantly, and I talk to him bit by bit every day, but I don't set aside time that is his time, that he and I just get face to face, and I unload my problems. And I think that's the key. So I need to take my own advice on that. I'd love for anybody who, if you struggle with it, if you've had success with it, if you want to separate the talking to God part and just talk about that, your struggles and success with that, please, hey, comment down below, baby. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear about topics you want to hear on this. I want this to grow together as a movement. You know, let's grow this channel together. I want you to be invested in this from the get-go, from the jump. So I'm gonna try to keep on being consistent with posting, even if it's just little ones like this, little short blurbs. Talking about a concept that's near and dear to my heart is freeing men from this subversive hell is pornography addiction, sex addiction. You should quit jacking off in general. If you don't have a woman, I know that seems nearly impossible, but it is possible, and trust me, just pray on it. Pray, and literally that's how my wife and I got together, is the church prayed over us, and she walked into my life a month later at a church function. So, you know, God works in sometimes very direct ways. But hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. Join us on this crazy journey, because we're all learning, and I want to learn as much from all of you people out there as much as you could possibly learn from me. And I hope you do take away something good from each and every one of my streams, and I hope they're not just me screaming into the wind. But no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, just like me, and you have a chance. Always have a chance. If you have breath in your lungs, just cry out and say, Lord, I have messed up. Jesus, please help me. And if you don't believe, hey, that's okay. Maybe at some point something that I say will click with you, and you'll do your own research and your own study and your own taking it to God in prayer. I hope that happens for you. Not saying it has to, but if you want the best creation has to offer, I highly recommend it. I'm not saying you have to enjoy it, but you definitely have to enjoy the afterlife. That's just my view on it, and it just so happens to be true. But suffice it to say, I love you. Keep pressing for the truth, because there's a lot of people out there these days who really want to lie to you. They want you to buy into the lie and to give up your freedom willingly. It's so much easier than having to take it from you. So don't let them do that, and don't let them take your freaking guns. All right, hold on to those tight. Once again, I'll say it again. I love y'all, and be well. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.